but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, I know it's hard. No, it's hard to remember sometimes, but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, and keep your head up.
Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of Silvas Sunday. I'm so excited that you're here and you decided to drop by. Before I begin in today's topic, I wanted to kind of touch base on what we talked about last time. And last week we talked about, what your core values are, what you really want out of life. And the reason why I had you start there is because that's where you have to be aware of who you are and what you want and what you're thinking. Because when your thoughts change, your reality changes. So I'm gonna draw a little example to kind of help explain what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna draw some columns or some rows, okay? And let's just say that whatever your goal is, wherever your thought process is, it falls in one of these areas, okay? So let's say your goal is to get $100,000, or you wanna have 8% body fat, okay? That's where you wanna go. But last year, you made 30,000 and you're at 20% body fat. You have to get from here to here. Your thought process right now is only this. You're only gonna see this because that's what your mind's trained to do. Your habits and everything in your life is in this area. The job opportunities that you're seeing are only around here. The people you're hanging around with are around here. The body fat percentage, your habits, everything stems in this area. You're noticing circumstances and events that are gonna keep you in that area. So what you gotta do is you gotta learn, you gotta think differently. You gotta turn into more so that you can receive more. You have to read books, you gotta take risks, you gotta put yourself out there so that you can climb to the next one. 50,000, 60, 80, 15% body fat, 12, 10. You gotta keep challenging yourself, keep growing so that your thoughts jump into different areas. And pretty soon, you're taking advantage of opportunities that you're seeing in the 100,000. You're taking risks, you're working out more, it's become part of your daily routine. So now you drop to 8% and now you got $100,000. But it all starts with your thoughts, where you are mentally. Because you literally change your perception. You change your reality based off what you think about, what you pay attention to, what you notice, what you focus on. You want to get from point A to point B? Who's done it? Who's made $100,000 last year? How'd they do it? Let me incorporate that into my life so that I can raise to that level. You got to know where you're going before you can go anywhere. Or else you're going to be living the same life, doing the same thing over and over. And I know you don't want that. Thoughts are powerful. Not only do they change your body, but they change everything around you. You attract things to you when you think about it. Today is special because we get to talk about trends and fads and what's going on in the world. And from my experience and a lot of my friends, and what we talk about is this thing that's sweeping the nation, that everyone's talking about. This is like the buzz. Like everyone knows about this, everyone does it. To what scale, that's up to them, but they wear it on their sleeves, they wear it, on their face, it's written all over them, they're passionate about it, they believe it, and it's this idea that you can't do something. Like this belief that you can't get what you want, that you can't become the person you want to be, that you can't go on the vacations that you want to go on, that you can't get your goals. Who told you that? Who brainwashed you to think that you can't get what you want? Whoever it was, it must have been very convincing to over and over tell you that you can't do something and for you to believe it. Because once you believe it, that's it. You're never gonna get what you want. I hear it all the time. Oh, I thought you were training for that show. Yeah, I was, but I don't think I could do it because there's people that are training harder than me. I don't have the right build. I'm not tall enough. Yeah, I could have got that job promotion, could have won that interview, but I just feel, I wasn't at my best. There's other people who have had way more experience than me, so I didn't even try. All these excuses I'm here to tell you today that you can do it, that whatever you want to do, you can do it. I promise you that it's possible, but it's got to change. You got to change your perception. You got to change your thoughts. For me, it was, I don't know if I could be the speaker because I don't have the confidence. I don't think I can get in front of people and share my story and share ideas that can help them grow. I didn't think I could do that. It wasn't until I believed, until I was ready to accept the challenge, to grow. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys. Want something that bad and go get it. You have the talents. You have everything you need to get what you want. You just got to believe that. But don't give in to the trends. There's going to be 90% of people are going to tell you that you can't do it, or they believe it themselves. Not you. Be different. Be the 1% that can make things happen, that make it possible for the rest of the world. Be the one person that changes the world by being you, by harnessing your talents and going after what you want. You got to go from a limited life to unlimited. Because it's not fun living in limitation. Someone telling you that you can't do something, even you believing that you can't do it, that's not how life is supposed to be. 9 out of 10 people are going to tell you that you can't do something. But you got to be that 1%, that one person that says, no, I'm different. And so to kind of help cement this story, I want to tell you guys a story that Les Brown usually uses in all of his seminars. And it's this story about these two kids. Okay, these two kids live in Wisconsin, and they're ice skating on their pond behind their home or whatever. And it's the winter time. There's ice. They're skating. They're having a great time. They're 12 years old. No one's around. It's just them two. And all of a sudden, the ice starts cracking, and one of the kids ends up falling into the ice. And his best friend freaks out. He's never been in this situation before. He doesn't know what to do. He's in shock. His friend's screaming for help. And all of a sudden he gets sucked under the ice where it hasn't cracked yet. And he's banging on it. He's trying to get out because obviously he wants, getting air. And his friend starts freaking out. He figures out what he needs to do to get his friend out. So he looks around and he finds a big tree with a big branch. This branch is twice as big as him. He goes up to the branch, he tries all his might, he ends up ripping up the branch and beating the ice repeatedly until the ice breaks. And then he pulls his friend out and saves his life. The ambulance shows up, the police show up later, and they're all wondering how this kid did it, how he broke off this branch that's twice as big as him, that maybe an adult can't even break, beating the ice repeatedly to save his friend's life. How did he do it? And there was a guy in the background, just a bystander, and he goes, I know how he did it. And the police, the paramedics are like, how did he do it? He said, there was no one here to tell him that he couldn't do it.